For the first time in 3 decades, a sitting ANC deputy president has confessed what millions already knew. Paul Mashatile just said it. The African National Congress has failed to improve the lives of South Africans. The same party that liberated a nation now stands accused of enslaving it to corruption, greed, and decay. And what's coming next could shake the foundations of South Africa's political order and the balance of power across Africa. Hold on, because what Mashatile said wasn't just an apology. It was a warning, and maybe a declaration of war inside the ANC itself. In this report, Border Files unpacks the real meaning behind Mashali's shocking confession. We'll reveal the power struggle raging inside the ANC, how the liberation movement became a system of patronage, and why the next elections could mark the final collapse of Africa's oldest ruling party. What the mainstream media won't tell you is that this isn't self-reflection, it's survival. Once upon a time, the ANC stood for freedom, equality, and justice. Today, it stands accused of state capture, corruption, and betrayal. From the Zondo Commission to collapsing municipalities, every headline paints the same story: a revolution devouring its own children. And now, Deputy President Paul Mashatile, himself under corruption allegations, has done something unthinkable. He told ANC members, "We have not done enough to improve the lives of South Africans. We must take accountability." In political terms, that's a bomb detonated at the heart of Lutuli House. Because when the number 2 man says the ruling party failed, it's not a speech, it's a signal, a coded message to insiders. The party is bleeding and the battle for 2026 has begun. Behind the cameras, senior ANC figures are panicking. The 2024 election already stripped them of absolute power, forcing an uneasy coalition to keep Cyril Ramaphosa in office. And the polls for 2026? They're worse. Insiders whisper that even with alliances, the ANC could fall below 40%. That's not just decline, that's implosion. Mashatile's words weren't humility, they were strategy. Behind closed doors, factions are aligning for what could be the most brutal internal showdown since the end of apartheid. Cyril Ramaphosa's reformers, battered by corruption scandals and economic stagnation, are clashing with a populist bloc around Mashatile, who wants to renew the ANC by purging its old elite. But renewal in South African politics often means one thing: replacing the old oligarchs with new ones. Mashatile's message about deploying the wrong people hits directly at the policy of cadre deployment, the system that placed loyal party members, not qualified professionals, into every corner of government. The same system that hollowed out Eskom, collapsed municipalities, and left millions jobless. The ANC promised transformation. What South Africans got was paralysis. Now, Mashatile claims he'll fix it. But can the man accused of the same corruption he condemns truly reform the machine that made him? This is where the story twists. The Zondo Commission revealed how deep the rot runs. Jacob Zuma, the Guptas, ministers, mayors, councillors, billions siphoned while poverty exploded. But what most people don't know is that many of those same networks never vanished. They simply mutated. New alliances are forming between political veterans, business tycoons, and intelligence operatives, all betting on a post-Ramaphosa ANC. And guess who's quietly being positioned as the alternative? Paul Mashatile. He presents himself as the reformer, the introspective leader. But within the party, his critics call him the Prince of Quiet Deals. They accuse him of using the language of accountability to prepare for a power grab. The ANC's collapse isn't just a domestic issue, it's a geopolitical event. South Africa is the gateway to Africa's economy, BRICS' southern pillar, and a key partner in global trade corridors. If the ANC fractures, China, Russia, and the West will each fight to control what rises from the ashes. A weakened ANC could mean a fragmented state, and a fragmented South Africa means open ground for foreign influence, private militias, and corporate power to fill the vacuum. Mashatile's renewal talk might sound moral, but in the shadows, the stakes are strategic. As the 2026 local elections approach, the ANC faces an existential crisis. The youth no longer believe. The middle class is emigrating. The poor are angry, disillusioned, and desperate. Mashatile's speech in Ekurhuleni wasn't meant for the people, it was meant for the party. A rallying cry, admit failure before the people do it for us. But there's a cruel irony. Accountability in the ANC rarely means punishment. It means repositioning. The same faces return, only the slogans change. Renewal, rebuilding, self-correction. Words repeated so often they've lost meaning. But this time, the people might not forgive. When Paul Mashatile said the ANC failed, he broke a sacred rule: never admit weakness in public. That single line could become the prophecy that ends an era. Because beneath the speeches, the memorials, and the slogans lies a brutal truth. South Africa's ruling party isn't reforming. It's unraveling. And when the system that once liberated a nation collapses, the real question becomes, who will control what rises from its ruins? Hold on, because this is just the beginning. If this story stirs something inside you, if you know that power never surrenders without a fight, then subscribe now to Border Files and turn on notifications, because the next investigation will expose the secret networks shaping South Africa's future and the global forces standing behind them.